Another great way to start a presentation is with a powerful or shocking statement, maybe even a controversial statement. That's one that's a little tricky to use, but if you can, it can capture the attention of the audience pretty dramatically. Hey, this is Doug Standard with Fearless Presentations, the fastest, easiest way to eliminate public speaking fear. And one of the more challenging types of openings that you can do, but if you can pull it off, it makes the presentation kind of sing right off the bat, is to start with a powerful or a shocking statement. For instance, one of the things that I will kind of tell folks when they come into my public speaking classes very early on is I'll kind of start off with a statement like, you know, just about everything you've ever learned about public speaking is wrong. You know, by saying something like that, a lot of times folks will kind of, the moment that you make a statement that's kind of shocking or powerful like that, a lot of times folks will automatically, their defenses kind of get up and they start to kind of argue with you almost a little bit internally. They won't do it verbally, but in a lot of cases they'll do it kind of internally. And now all you have to do is spend the next couple of seconds proving why you would say that. So for instance, if I start off my class like that with the statement, just about everything you've ever learned about public speaking is wrong, and I prove it by giving them something that's really obvious, I might say something like, think about what most people are taught about the way that they see their audience. You know, for instance, we're taught that we should picture our audience, our head naked. A lot of times people will kind of laugh at that because that is really a dumb tip. I mean, I've never heard of that ever working in the history of public speaking, but it still gets passed around. It's one of those idiotic tips that for some reason people kind of keep passing around. So just by picking one of those that's on the extreme, I can now back up my powerful statement. So you can do the same thing in your presentations. Just kind of create a powerful statement or kind of a shocking statement that you can back up with something that's almost absurd, and it makes it a little bit easier to get your audience to pay attention to you right off the bat. I give you a good example of this in real life. One of my instructors will sometimes start his team building activities with a pretty funny statement. He'll say something like, some of you guys who were really courteous when you came in the room, you probably opened the door for your coworker a few minutes ago. In about 15 minutes, you're going to be pushing that same coworker with your elbow and kind of chicken winging her out of the way to steal something from her. And they're like, what? How in the world can that happen? Well, one of the activities that we do builds up the competitiveness of the group. And when those competitive juices just start flowing, you'll actually start to see some of that behavior. And what happens is the moment that somebody recognizes it, everybody in the room just kind of starts laughing. So it's one of those things that you can kind of set up something that's going to happen later by creating that powerful statement early on. Anyway, it's like I said, this one's a little bit more tricky than some of the other openings that we've had, but if you get really good at speaking in front of a group and you want to try something out that's a little bit more complicated, I would encourage you to experiment with this particular opening statement. Hey, so if you haven't yet done so yet, make sure and subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment below. Let me know how the information has been helpful for you. And if you have some ideas on ways that we can actually improve our videos or ideas of topics that you want me to cover, make sure and leave that in the comments. I answer every single one of them. See you on the next Fearless Presentations video.